M80, they look dominant on that map of Haven against RETA. Welcome back, everybody, to Challengers Ascension, rather, that we're at now. And we just saw domination take place on this side of M80. We saw a couple chances, a couple opportunities for RETA, but there were only 4 rounds they were able to get away with. And even from the beginning, it was just M80 having a clear understanding on how to win against that composition that RETA were playing, Steriban, and that way closing it out.
Yeah, M80 is so meticulous. Like, even on both their pistols, like the first defense pistol, they obviously have a lot of familiarity playing against this comp in particular because it is a comp that was specialized by the guard, and they've played the guard a lot being in NA. So they definitely knew what to expect, and RETA didn't look like they got much value at all from the attacker side with that Viper wall being an A main. But you can just see, like, even on their attack pistol, they ended up playing slow, and then they re-cleared A main with a drone, won those fights, and then in a 4v2 they just ran back to the C site because they knew that the rotations would probably come in towards A. So they're just like so good at every single little detail that came in this game.
Yeah, I completely agree with her. I mean, throughout every stage of the half and throughout every stage of every single round, it really did feel like M80 had an amazing game plan. It felt like RETA got zero value from their composition, and I almost did not feel the Viper's presence at all. It always felt like they were playing in front of the util, never getting denied. Even on their attack side, they were like pushing here, getting the util out, and then, you know, going back somewhere else. And it's like really felt like M80 were just extremely tight with their spacing, with their team play, with just all their entire game plan from top to bottom. It looks like, it sad to say, but it was just straight up outclass.
And it's not only that you have these ideas on how to deal with the composition that RETA is bringing to you, but it's also that the M80 players, every single one, they had their moments inside of these rounds. We see BCJ popping off, Net calling them, every single one of them having their moment to do so. And so not only you're going to have to deal with, how do we adapt to what they're bringing to us, and how do we deal to with the reads that they're doing on our composition with the Viper and the Omen, but also on how do we stop them from popping off every single round. It was just too hard to do, Steri. Now we look at what is going to be the next map and what is going to be the future, and I don't know if RETA honestly can come back from this. M80 is looking good, they're looking fired up, they're looking confident, they have the advantage on the day that they had yesterday, and it's a RETA that is looking like we saw the RETA on day 1.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to definitely have to mental reset coming into this next map. But honestly, M80 is looking like a well-oiled machine. Like, they kind of look kind of unstoppable. All their, like Roy mentioned, like their spacing is tight. They look like they have just a solid game plan going in. I feel like it's looking really good for M80 right now.
And I do also want to mention the fact that the last map was RETA's map pick. Now we're going into M80's map pick, and clearly they're gonna pick it for a reason. They probably have an amazing game plan that they have not displayed yet. But I mean, also on Haven, it's not like M80 pulled out something that we've never seen before. It's a pretty standard meta composition. It's the cookie cutter of Haven, right? So like, there's really no excuses in terms of like, oh, there's a surprise factor. But now we're going into a map where like the territory is definitely uncharted, and if M80 continues to play at the level that they are with that X factor, it might be a tough matchup for RETA.
And I feel like this is one of those maps, though, for M80 where we can expect a change, maybe, possibly. Like you said, on that first map, we had our questions on what they were going to play out, because last time that we saw M80 run and play on Haven, it was against Moise all the way back in Challengers. So now we're seeing them on this map of Lotus, where last time they played in the Grand Finals against TSM. And it was something that you mentioned, Roy, for a little bit. It was when we saw the Sage being played out here. Yeah,
it was a triple. It's not even just a Sage. It was a triple Sentinel. It was insane.
Yeah?
They showed it in North America. It was absolutely bonkers to play against on Lotus. And to me, when I first watched it, I was like, okay, maybe this is just like a cheese comp. But no, they played it so many times. And even when people had counter ideas, it still was a fully functioning, very dynamic comp.
It has some great ideas, and it goes back to something that we mentioned towards the beginning of the day, that every time we have our questions about these compositions that M80 are running, they prove us wrong every time, and they prove us why they're playing them. I mean, that match where they play that triple Sentinel composition that we're talking about, they won 13-2 against TSM. If that doesn't prove enough that they have a very clear idea what they're doing, I don't know what does.
Yeah, and on the LATAM side, I do want to bring up the fact that we cannot forget or sleep on the fact that they have experienced players. They know what it's like to compete at this level. They know how to bounce back with the mental. And this is when people say experience, like, this is where experience comes in handy. being able to get the team back on track, keeping the vibes up, keeping the confidence up. Like, this is where that experience matters. So I'm not going to make the mistake of discounting RETA here at all.
Yeah, there's always a chance, as we've talked about for the last couple matches. And also, a reminder for everybody watching in the chat, there is a giveaway so you guys can get a blacklight chair. It's going to be pinned in chat, so you guys can sign up and see if you can get one of those chairs. I talked about it yesterday. They're really nice, the desk, everything that blacklight has. So make sure you check it out, and you might be able to get one of those for free. But now as we go back into the conversation here between M80 and RETA on that second map, something as well that we mentioned just briefly, it was that the first map of Haven, that was RETA's map pick. Now they're going to M80's map pick, Sariban, and things can get a little scary for them because, yeah, we're talking about not underestimating them, but M80 is looking so good.
Yeah, for RETA, I definitely agree with what Roy said. Having those experienced players, being able to reset your mental completely and coming into this map thinking, you know, this is still a strong map pick for RETA. I mean, even during stage 2, they had a pretty good win percentage on this map. I believe it's like a 73%, somewhere in the 70s, which is really high. So I'm pretty sure they feel very confident going into this map. I think all they need to do is just kind of brush it off, go into this new map with a new mental, and just kind of hope for the best. It is still group stages, so there is still a little bit room for error, but obviously you would like to win this game.
Yep, and also to mention that this is the map where both of these teams have kind of question marks, right? The first map, M80 did have a bit of an idea of what RETA was up to, but now we're going into Lotus, a map that neither team has shown in a while. So I think the level of prep and the level of practice is a lot more like internally focused, where like it's just more so about our game plan instead of like, okay, what are they doing? What are they up to? It's a lot more internally focused, and I feel with that internal focus is RETA's strengths, right? That's kind of where they get some of their powers, and like just like playing their own game, not worrying too much, not overthinking, keeping Snauzine confident, and making sure they stick to something that is more familiar to them.
And a guy that I want to keep my eyes on is going to be Maurice, the IGL for RETA. What is he able to do? Because the times where we see RETA down, they don't come back on that same map. They just look defeated, and then the map ends in a 13-4, 13-2, as we saw on the day one. They need to come back from these situations in a way that we've seen all the rest of the IGLs in Ascension step up. And it's not only internally, but it's also bringing the energy up, making sure that all of the situations are winnable, because this is something that RETA has been doing since Challengers in Latin America. Once they don't start in the strongest way in a map, it seems like it's just over, and it's so hard to come back.
Yeah, and with the hard-hitting analysis right here, I'm seeing some smiles on the team of RETA right here, okay? They're not down bad. The Snauzine is smiling, even though he didn't have a great first map. Like, the vibes definitely are not in the dumps. It's not like they're freaking out, they're stressed out. Like, no, they're keeping it chill. They're keeping their hands nice and warm and cool. And it seems like it smiles on both sides, even with the coaching staff. So I think this is, again, back to the thing of, like, this is where experience, this is where vibes matter the most, right? This is where everyone needs to remain level-headed. Obviously, M80's all smiles because they're up one map, so they have more room for error.
They should be smiling. They should be feeling pretty good about what they were able to do on Haven. It was a 13-4. It was a domination from this team, and it once again proving us Terriban why they're their favorite team. But for RETA, they are the underdogs, and they have something to prove. So that's when teams can also be the scariest.
Yeah, I think with underdogs, there's kind of like an unknown factor where it's like, you know, you'll never know when they're just going to surprise you or, you know, just hit an insane upset. And, you know, a good thing that Roy mentioned is like RETA's smiling. We love to see that. I think that's the hardest part, is like keeping control of your mental. Like getting destroyed 13-4, I'm pretty sure is pretty rough, but they're able to kind of keep smiles all around and keep the vibes up.
Well, let's jump into the Blacklight Agent Select. Let's see what the two teams are going to be playing on this map. We talked a lot about M80, what they did last time, and guess what? They're going to change it once again, Roy.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. They're not attached to their previous meta, and now we're going into a Yoru. That is not something that we see very often on Lotus. And on the flip side, for RETA, they do have a pretty standard composition, double controller, of course, with Fade Rays. This is a composition popularized by Fnatic, so it's not something that M80 will not be ready for.
Keeping a little bit of the same on the side of RETA, but M80 bringing a compositional change on the second map of Lotus. Let's see if they can take it 2-0. Let's take it to your casters, Uber and Wyatt.
Okay, big change up here for M80 on their Lotus composition. In the past, it was Deadlock Sage, which may have been a composition that had a bit of an expiration date. This is a big switch up for that NA side.
I don't know what to say. I hope RETA didn't have too many long nights studying their Deadlock Sage comp.
Oh God, can you imagine?
I mean, whatever they did to prep for that madness out the window. And Roy was talking about it, but M80 love to switch things up. Snozine,
good damage, good damage.
Starting this map as he finished the previous, sadly.
Now M80 passed through here with a 0.04 rating. It was brutal. Absolutely was shut down and handled by M80. And like I said, they still got some good damage on M80.
Spike plant.
For the Copers out there. Now RETA will be getting into position to retake all from upper here. They're easier. Eyes on stairs. Good call, I think. And he'll be there to catch anyone who tries to surge up in that direction. Most of M80 fallen back here. Over towards A main. Reese's going to try it, but gets spotted out. Little jiggles there from Nismo. Yield the information. He was low, though. It ends up being a trade, and it's happy with that one. Delzik gets onto the side here. C's thrown out. Suther flash briefly. Screen lights up. It's going to be down to BCJ versus Nagzet. That is an annoying little horn that pings Nagzet out. Oh, it's so nasty. Brought down to 74. One shot, though, will do it. That's all Nagzet needs to do, and he cannot. BCJ, once again, delivers a smackdown. And M80 take the pistol.
Just do not end around in a 1v1 against the big guy. He's 3 for 3 now in 1v1 clutches. So consistent, so good today. It's been good for a long damn time, but finally an opportunity to show it again. Hot start already on Lotus. I am just trying to see what this Yoru is going to do, man. I have never seen Yoru in a competitive match of Lotus in my life. Koala Noob's Yoru, though, is so sick. You kind of associate, and not even kind of, you definitely associate Jet as the Koala Noob agent. Just nice little free pick on the jump spot. Against M80, you got to expect Koala Noob to have the outlaw in round 2. But Yoru has actually been statistically, by far, Koala Noob's best agent in 2024.
And he was able to push up onto A, get that kill, drag Snozine additionally out of position, and gate crash back to the rest of his team. So it's going to be 4 players. A delayed 5th, of course, with Net coming in. Hitting this side for RETA. That's a scary prospect, but Nagzet, nice little spot there on the corner. Okay, this is going to give him the hot foot. Snakebite comes down, separates BCJ for the rest of the team.
Spike
He gets brought down, but the aftershock there from Nismo is well placed. He doesn't pick up the spike. He doesn't go for the plant just yet.
Could be a bit of danger here as Murs tries to creep his way back in.
Got the spike.
Really the only person on Reddit that was kind of putting up some numbers on that first map.
Planted.
Really experienced Brazilian player.
One enemy remaining.
Way back in. Good shot from Snow.
Not bad. Xander here. Little peaks frustrating him there by Mariz. There's still the issue of the defuse for Mariz, and that, yep, you can see where the spike is down on slope. Xander just trying to soften him up a little bit. It's labored, it's dragged out, but eventually the result is the same. M80 take that second round. Keep the outlaw in hand as well. Going into the next. Opened up, of course, by Koala Noob over on that A side. Dragging the extra player in, taking one down.
A fair bit of damage. Reddit will be somewhat content with that heading into their first buy. So long as they can not suffer the fate of an outlaw shot as a one-shot or to the dome from Koala Noob. Going to pay attention to some of this early gate crash placement, some of the idea there from him. As he looks to head towards C. With 3 players actually on light armor, but it's Xander with the outlaw, Koala Noob with the Vandal, and the Dimensional Drift already on their bonus round. That's an opportunity to really get the ball rolling.
And Koala Noob has 2 kills, so you best believe he's been making sure those orbs have been going the right way. Trip tested there. Xander aware, of course, as the Prowler made his presence known. Mariz is very quickly gone and snapped up that Odin. Some prods here from M80. They are quite happy to play it slow. Oh, K-Net. Sends a little bit too far there. Snoozy was waiting for him, and the alarm bot definitely gave him advance warning. That's scary. He's no cops a glancing blow.
Online already round 3. Pretty significant for RETA. It's so good towards that A side. I mean, the way it dominates the alt orb there from the tree position, the paper-thin walls. There's that Dimensional Drift, though. Intentions of cracking open this C site, gaining information for the rest of the M80 players to gain safe passage, but BCJ won't have any of that. Molly doing so much.
That is wild. The damage on Nismo there as well is just going to fall to the snake bite in the end. They try and follow up because Koala Noob emerged from his dimensional drift in halls. They wanted to follow him up, but they're not aware of Suther waiting by waterfall.
Spike down. C.
Now Koala is in that 1v3. Snozine drawing an outline of him on the wall as he crosses to pick up the spike. Knows he's just going to kind of go for it here, but he's interrupted by the satchel. Still turns around and forces Snozine to respect the name, but it's still a RETA round.
Good thing Mariz knows where to put the crosshair for that little spam lineup. Odin is mega powerful in that situation as well. I mean, it's just created for Lotus.
And
Nismo, they tripped on a banana peel on the entry, just slipped over.
He walks up through that. There might have been another nano swarm there as well because he steps into the snake bite at pretty low health as it is.
Yeah, they want to scale, they want to take advantage of the dimensional drift. But RETA just do a really nice job separating the pack from Koala Noob being that tip of the spear. Here's the Odin in prime Odin location.
Where are you?
RETA really not playing very deep in A main here. Now as the wall comes down, they might consider stepping up a little bit. Oh, there's a lot more than Xena bargained for there. Takes such a wide angle. That player coming out of door.
I have the spike.
Blindsided, didn't expect there to be 2 additional individuals for RETA. And now they can redisperse themselves back over the map, over towards B, and ultimately see where Nagzet lies in wait, as Net will try and clear some of this Killjoy util without dying, ideally.
Fall back, noise cut, trying to retake that control on A as Net makes some noise C, but just in Cypher, that's not necessarily enough to convince to rotate. Mariz steadfast in the sight. This Odin dealing serious damage to M80 as they try to prod in. Time is ticking lower. Suits are still eyes on Baby Door as well.
He's affected by that fault line now. BCJ tries to get the drop on him. Nagzet going to come in and try and reinforce them, but he's going to get caught out. Oh, man, Aftershock. Suther had nowhere to go, really.
Left.
So M80 now just a 1-player disadvantage. They don't have upper control. And they are trying to maintain that Baby Doll control, and that's what Net is playing out towards Rubble for. So they don't have to worry about backstabs from there. There's no Viper to throw the wall back up and hide vision. So Zeno looking to make a splash. More kills already than the last map to his name. Showstopper at the ready. Over to Baby Doll. He looks to go. And he actually catches Nismo, who kind of wanders back into the line of fire. I mean, M80 had to get pretty close to the spike here. I think they realized it's going to be a defuse. They need to keep those weapons. And that showstopper kill seals it.
Surprised to not really see much proactivity from M80. Just giving up full sight control at a disadvantage with the showstopper still available. I think that was far too passive from them. They needed to take a bit of a risk. The BCJ, if he just got 1 kill in that situation, would have had the Nightfall too. So they allow a bit of an opening for RETA to take that map control, capitalize off of it, and put M80 in a tough economic position. Possibly for the first time in this series, maybe second time. I mean, what is that from Net, though? Just out in the open, taps down Snozine.
And that's probably half the reason why we're seeing M80 at times just disrespect this setup here. The Odin has been a problem for them. Mariz knows that the player hiding over towards Rubble, who was there last round, is going to be extremely susceptible to those overshots coming in. Can they overwhelm the Fade player? Mariz unaffected ultimately by that decoy. And Delzik holds a close, albeit off angle here towards stairs.
Yeah, this is nice from Nagza. With Net going down, time to push out Mount. Time to take that map control. Allow the rest of his team to make a big rotate. That's exactly what they do. M80 looking to pivot, but that one way is going to stop them in their tracks. Slow down that approach towards B as well. RETA are working the map nicely right now. They're keeping M80 trapped in this A position. It herded them in.
While Noob is in on that site. Aftershock here to punish anyone playing at drop. That allows Koala Noob to head up the stairs. There's not much Mariz can do about this. He doesn't have the angle to see Koala Noob. He's so susceptible, and he still turns around and finds a frag. Unlikely as it is. He eventually falls. Xander takes the Odin for himself. Now looks to maybe line up on a corner here. If Nagzet gives him a shoulder peek, he'll be lucky to get away with.
Oh no, with that plant, Nismo has the Rolling Thunder now.
He's set up here. Xander, though, in a position who would be caught by it.
Player standing.
Tries to move up. Oh, now he can use that Rolling Thunder with impunity if you so choose, I guess. It'll be a fault line to start with. And yeah, rolling thunder, the timing, not too shabby. Does he see Suther behind the box? Finds him, and Suther yet still completes the kill. One bullet's all you need, apparently. And RETA find their third of the game.
A risk taken by Nismo on a big swing round. I'm not mad at it, but such low HP. It's going to be tough, even with those players stunned up. Headshot or no from Suther. Getting some footing into the game, too. RETA as a whole finding their footing, finally. The LATAM first seed, such struggles on map 1. But they played this round so nicely.
Just as beautiful. Crispy from net, but just asks for this.
Yeah, look at the control on the map. And I mean, this was nuts for Marizdo. How does he spin around and find that kill?
I guess all he could see was Koala Noob's head, in fairness. There we go. Despite the disadvantages of playing from there. BCJ, a bit of a taste of his own medicine. Can't be happy with that. Some of that Odin spam chunks him down somewhat. Mountain control established here for M80. Now, whether it's just for the orb or for more is unclear.
Time to jump.
One away from that dimensional drift again, so this would get him there. Crash also deployed just in case Koala doesn't like the location. He turns up without that ultimate. Viper Spit immediately going to be thrown down. Ping the Viper, ping the Viper. Be a nuisance. There's a Nightfall going to be coming out now. Koala emerges from the pit, but comes off a second best. Nags was waiting for him. Xander wades in. It's going to be Delzy able to finish the job. Snakebite at his feet as it was, and that makes the spike that much harder to recover here. Nice paint shells. That's a problem for Net. He's got to give up on the angle for now, and at 23, there's just far too much more for him to do. RETA stringing them together now. This is nice. They're very reactive here on defense. It's paying off.
This dimensional drift is really not helping them on C. It's getting a little bit of info, pinging them out, sure. But the rest of the players are struggling to get in. When the mollies are coming down, the pit is still there anyway. You know, it's not like having that extra presence if you just have the Rays going in, fighting forward. The rest of the guys are struggling. They're getting disconnected. They're taking so much damage, getting bogged at that choke. It's resulting in an M80 tack pause right now. So for this Yoru, not getting as much value as intended.
We're not loving it. Couple gate crashes. I mean, like the previous round, prior to this one, he was able to gate crash on towards that A site, kind of get there. Then that unfortunate circumstance where Maurice just, well, I mean, depends on who you ask really, but when Maurice just rips him a new one down there from pit. Even after, I guess the issue for Koala is they just aftershocked that pit, and then Maurice stepped in there. So
I'm just
definitely caught them off guard.
I'm questioning, like, is it really worth feeding the ult orbs to the Yoru to get a dimensional drift there where, listen, boring, but if you had the Rays and you were doing the same thing and we're just leaping in with the showstopper in that situation, that's a better way to kill that Viper. That's a better way to make some space. Listen, I'm struggling a little bit with this pick right now, but definitely want to give them a chance to show more of what they cooked up in this downtime. Going away from that
Keep talking like that. And we're going back to double Sentinel, all right? Or triple Sentinel, whatever it was for M80 on this map. All right?
Might have worked out a little better. But listen, it's early days. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. M80 pivoting over towards the C site yet again. Nags has been playing well over here.
I'll find you.
But the defense is light right now. If an execute came in, it doesn't though, just a haunt.
Coming back.
So maybe decide to peel back. Maybe going to leave a little presence here to control this side of the map, or they'll be content with that tripwire that was placed. They've got a lot of time. They want to work elsewhere. They want to keep these rotations, rather lack of rotations, coming in. Just keep this defense spread or drag them to A. But Nags just takes a peek from top site, finds the kill on Koala.
Barely gets punished for it as well. Still sitting pretty at 70. Well, Noob, got to be fuming about that, but it must be that weapon advantage, giving RETA a little bit more confidence here. So this gets spotted out, of course, by the Killjoy turret. Nags it pulls back so we can approach the site from halls, but it does put RETA in a retake situation. They may just sort of end up on the correct site in terms of defender density. Yeah. So there it is. Oh, the one way towards halls. That's pretty deep. They might try and challenge this with a couple players off that. Paranoia used by RETA to try and break the deadlock and pull one player. Still, M80 want to fight for this. Try and get value out of some of these stingers. It goes about the way you'd expect it to, folks. I won't sugarcoat it. It's up to Nismo here, who is, of course, marked and are basically awaiting his captors to put him out of his misery. That'll be Snow getting it done.
Yeah, they want to close the distance in that situation, fight really up close when the Nightfall is actually coming in, rather than just letting it take them on the site, reveal their positions, allow that free entry. I'm not too mad at that, but RETA just play that round perfectly sound. Nags gets a great pick. He's been playing well so far on Lotus, Nags. And then after that, yeah, just totally content. You can have the site. We'll happily play a 5-on-4 with Nightfall any day of the week.
And typically, Lotus considered attacker-sided just because of how much the defenders have to spread in a 3-bomb site map.
Yeah, well...
And you're probably a little bit concerned about the M80 here, but, I mean, they actually have an equal win rate across both attack and defense at 58, so it's never really been an issue for them.
I was going to say, attacker-sided by virtue of every team was playing the comp RETA have for a long time, and that's what developed that statistic, right? With this M80 comp, God knows, brother.
Are they attack or defense sided?
I simply do not know.
Again, in the same way that it was used on Bind, Yoru can defensively rotate between some of those sites a bit easier with Gate Crash, but that's something to look at in 2 rounds' time. Or even more than that. Still 4.5 to play.
And Snow already triple his kills on Haven, by the way. 9 for 4.
So those are the stats that I'm here for. Keep feeding me those.
Yeah, just struggling on map 1, but now he's finally in the game. Weapon of choice with that op as well. Haunt comes out, M80 dodged that around the corner. As it looks like they want to work into what will be a B finish. Pressure towards A, open that door, and then break through the baby door. Well, Koala that come through main, but Snowzine prepared, ready.
Xana hoping to try and follow up here and force at least Snowzine off the angle with the paranoia. That one works, allows a posting up on the corner for Xander. 2 players watching it right now. Upper is smoked. Cypher Cam even deployed, so it looks like we might see M80 pull off there. Come on! So just swings that with the operator. Xana never had a chance. And the high flyers in the previous map where M80 have gone conspicuously quiet. Make it 3 for Snowzine. Not the easiest shots to make, especially in the confines of that B side. And M80 say, well, okay, we tried. Net now will struggle to hold on to this weapon. He does get pressed. Delzik doesn't seem to be interested.
Now things calm down just to save for the remaining 2 M80 players. No choice other than that. And that's all Snowzine. That's what he was doing to TSM. That's what it looked like he wasn't going to be doing today. But has come to life, rejuvenated, returned to sentience on map 2s. Going great. I mean, that peak on the Xander is just nasty.
And frankly, Hualanoob is getting shut down in the last 3 rounds. First kill, first death tally not been kind to him. Something Yoru suffers with sometimes. Yes, Nazim's going to have to respect that. He definitely lingers a lot in that use. I think he really wants this. That is a decoy, my friend. He had no choice but to go for it there.
Yeah, respects the Prowler, and then... never mind. I'm going to disrespect just a little bit. Goes right back in. Some util now gone from BCJ, and Cam going to be broken by Delzik. M80 want to get this mound control. They've definitely put a priority on it. They need to wait out to do so, and the jump spot from BCJ against the op. Punished hard for it.
So nice from Snowzine. I mean, you can see that RETA cared a lot more about their mound control this round because they did deploy that one way. They say, no, we actually want to fight for it this time instead of just giving it up and playing at the back of the site like they were when Nagset was playing over at C. And that's just signal to M80. I mean, now they've been shot in the face by Arrays, they would know that, but the assignments here for the defenders were a little bit different as opposed to the standard setup for RETA. Hopefully 2 rounds to their name for M80, and they don't look like they're getting another one anytime soon. Delzik mows them down, and
30 seconds left.
Snowzine deals with Xander. That was over quick.
And suddenly this is looking all too easy for RETA. The control of Mound there was really nice. They can put that emphasis on it as well and have the op hold strong because BCJ already expended both of those Prowlers. Would have been much better for forcing Snowzine off that line.
They forced them off the first one. They got the showstopper, I guess, but yes, this was a flattening
30 seconds left.
Okay, well, mount control maintained there by RETA. M80, these corner peaks, they've got to start to think that Snowzine will pounce on them if they try it again.
Again, Koala Noob, Dimensional Drift, third one of the half already. This is round 10. He's had 3 of them. So far, the first 2 have gone into C. They did not work. We're going for it again. We're running into C. This time it's only Nags and he's on the retreat, so some positive information for Koala is that the rest of the team can get in for free, get the spike down.
Koala Noob, does he linger here? Gatecrash, of course, will let him get out. He's hanging out. All right. Except for the shoulder pick. Confirms that the Yoru is staying. He creates more spacing than Aftershock now. Decoy obviously will go first, and Koala Noob says, okay, I'll reset now. Same spot. And there's going to be post-plant for M80 now, but they do not want to give up the side. Note how far forward they're playing. They're not playing towards Mound. They're not playing even at the back of C. They really want this. This might have caught RETA off guard a little bit. Horn cleared, and another gate crash used now. This time, Koala Noob finally opting to get out. He feels like he's burned enough clock here, but they've left net embedded. And like a virus, he spreads. Snowzine says, I'm taking my big boomstick and I'm going home. Or are you?
No, I'm not particularly headed home. Headed to the grave, sadly, for Snow. That was good from M80, though. I do appreciate that on these C-site exits, when they have the spike down, they are fighting forward. They are trying to take presence in Hall, fight towards Waterfall, and Koala Noob, with that gate crash, was effective at the end there, too, just drawing out some util and attention, posted up close, and then falling back, and has everyone else to pick that angle up. I like that post-plant setup. And I like how M80 are playing those situations in particular. It just hasn't been enough so far.
I feel like Koala Noob, though, enables him to play a little bit more that style, right? Because he has the reset button in the gate crash to kind of decide that he wants to play off the site eventually. We saw so much in Americas that, you know, a pretty standard way to fight is like you just kind of try and smoke out the middle of the site, you smoke out Waterfall, and you sit at the back of C as attackers, right? And you just sit, you just try and trade, you TP up on the boxes, you play on the stairs, and you try and win from there, but you do let the defenders get a lot of purchase. You let them come back in, and it feels almost even riskier. So RETA here, yeah, definitely attack pause here because there's been a switch up. The attitude from M80 after that round looks drastically different.
RETA just trying to ensure that they can close out this half with a couple more rounds. They could really just be in a dominant position to take us to map 3, which, let's be honest, we just did not see that coming after Haven. This is M80's pick. They came in with that, I mean, the bold comp switch that is just the catalyst of all this discussion, obviously, because you just never see Yoru on this map. Maybe there's a reason why, but I mean, you still have a lot of time to get back into this game, a couple more rounds here, and then whatever their defensive plans will be, we're yet to see, obviously. Nags controlling Mound off that one-way. Cage comes down for the cross, and there's that Prowler to make sure that no one was playing behind the Mound itself. That's some space gain for N80 early into the round.
Prowler eaten for breakfast there by Koala Noob. He pulls out. Yeah, same plays before. Cyber cage, camera thrown up. Did catch Suther out there on Mound last time. There's no operator that M80 has to worry about with these shoulder peaks. Can't be punished in that same way, really.
In fact, they're the ones with the operator. Koala playing with that now, just hoping someone on C will expose themselves to that angle.
Yeah, the Prowler was a problem, obviously, holding the operator, so he decided just to get out of that A side entirely. They look to repost up now. Miri still holds the Odin, so there is still definitely some threat there. I'm not really sure where to put himself here. Looks like A is not the ask. Some pressure at C, giving that option or leaving that open still, and a smoke towards upper on B. This is going to keep RETA in the dark for the time being. Snowzine trying to listen out for any sort of action here. Paint Shell to disrupt the plant. It's going to come too late, though. BCJ might be scratched up by a little bit, and he's down to 70. But now M80 settled back into the post plant. And Koala Noob is set up here in Baby Door.
Yeah, and they can settle back, wait for this Rolling Thunder from Nismo to win the round out. This is a great position from Nags, though, if he times this properly.
That's good. The Rolling Thunder, though, comes out for the attackers. Nags is still able to find one, though. We found 2, in fact. That's big. Isn't enough to turn the tides, though. Koala Noob's operator holding for contact, knows that RETA feel like they need to push off the B side to some degree. There's a defuse underway, though. Shots are coming in. Maurice is withstanding them all. Oh, the arrows. Axes, daggers in his back, just like the meme. And he protects his team's chances in the round with a defuse.
Just able to stick it because, in part, that operator from Koala, not the best for spamming through the smoke. Massive credit to Nags. He is, right now, the most impactful player in the server for my money. He's playing C excellently. The timing on that door open, they obviously expect that Rolling Thunder to come in. That is just the perfect literal thorn in the side of M80. They can't focus forward, capitalize off those players being stunned, getting those kills because they have to deal with him. He won the duels, he got a free kill as well. He's playing fantastic, KJ, right now.
And with Snowzine on his side, who's popped off so far this map, 16-7 coming into the round. RETA have the ingredients they need to cook up something special. Naxed does get pinged there by the horn. Noob steps up. This time he actually gets a first kill. It's short-lived though, but at least he gets that 1-for-1, and Xander's able to deal with Suther up there on that C site. 2 players over towards Waterfall though, so reinforcements not far away, and Snowzine wants to expedite the process of retake. Flashed up though, holding the showstopper, and sends it to the prescribed location.
That's the spike.
And nowhere to go. Spike drop loose here, but look at they're so exposed out on the side. Met coming as a second layer, lingering back towards Mound. Finds a great timing. With Marie's in a 1 versus 3. Stunned up by that, Xander just has a little peer in his direction and wrests the LMG out of his grasp.
Nothing to be done there for Maurice. And to get a final one on the board with another just slam C effort. That does pay off. A lot due to Koala finding that entry, besting Nags in that duel, shutting off the Killjoy utility. So a good entry from Koala after what was a mostly quiet half. I think doing his duties as were intended by the game plan drawn up, but it did not put him in position to succeed individually.
Does that give them an edge here defensively, outside of the ability to make quick rotations, which is something that Neon also offers on this map? Might have made her a more viable solution. Map of Lotus really been an M80 staple for so much of the season, but right now we're looking at them play a very different style, a very different composition. So a previous data on them, pretty invalid.
They've loved playing Lotus all year, and they have tried several different comps at this point, if I remember correctly. They just love experimenting on it. Yeah, I mean, just going back, yeah, it's been 4 different comps this year now on this map. It started with the meta comp, then slow little adjustments away from it, and then the downright crazy Sage Deadlock comp that did work. And now this might even be crazier, if I'm being honest. I think this is.
It is pretty out there.
At least, I don't know, Sodok played Deadlock on this map. Some other people were trying it. I think Foot played Sage. Like, yeah, we've seen those agents before. We simply
remember Sodok's first outing on Lotus with that Deadlock?
I've tried to forget. I love Sodok, but I've tried to forget.
One of our first America's casts. That one I definitely won't forget. M80 definitely had a bit more of a solid game plan for the Lotus utilization of Deadlock. They've gone away from it now, though, as we've sort of been discussing. And yeah, this is definitely a different look. It's pretty wild. What is it for Koala Noob? Does he crash backwards, surge forwards?
That's what I'm looking to see. He's picked up the Sheriff to play this more open long-range space towards A with just the gate crashes available. Yeah, we'll send that into the site and press forward. Playing around the fuck. Oh my god, just spams through the wall, switches down to 6. All right, that's cool. As some Prowlers are exchanged towards B evenly.
Lurk pressure pretty nullified with all that damage on the Viper. That's also one thing Yoru can do. Hang around that lurk wall and then TP back to where the action really is.
Yeah.
Maybe to shore up that part of the map for free.
Precisely. It does give them a nice option for map controls across the different areas. Just so unaware. How does he get 2? You just can't let him get away with that.
Nismo, though, backs up to the site. Ready with a flash. Already reinforced by M80. They're making sure they have numbers here. Kwanu obviously sitting across the map. Can't be sure that RETA aren't heading over towards A yet. So a little bit longer, and then he'll start traversing over towards this C side. 1-for-1. Okay. Favors the attackers locally, but Nismo able to get a clean one, and Suther down to 6 from that spam damage early in the round. Has the spike. And Nismo gonna try and make this a less appealing option for Suther. He obliges. He gets out of there with 20 6 seconds left to play.
This is basically Bogdan's Law, right? Has the Sheriff, one-tap headshot, just don't get shot. It's basically that.
Against Happy's team, yep.
It's going to be a little tough to pull off. Gizmo a couple flashes.
10 seconds left.
It's going up.
So is this just the Valorant application of Chekhov's gun, or is Suther just going to crumble under a 1 versus 2 scenario? Okay, plant location should give away something about his position here, and Nismo quickly steps up. The dial a bit. My goodness.
What?
This could be happening. Kwanu, though, 1 body shot would get it done.
Oh, come on.
Real Suther. 6 points of HP.
Out of here.
He has pulled that out of his ring hole.
Come
Unbelievable.
On. I am stunned.
I'm telling you, bro. They don't put Chekhov's gun. It always goes off.
I can't believe what we just witnessed. It didn't even look like he saw them. Those weren't even wallbangs. The fastest jiggle peaks.
Last player standing.
That is stunning from Suther. One of the younger players surrounded by these vets stepping up. Oh my word, man. Those are some of the nastiest Sheriff shots I've ever seen.
This time they're ready for it as well. M80 try and play close here up on Mound. Decent flash to work with in a 2-for-2. Aftershock, a little scary for Miriz, who absconds. Cypher cam over on the A site. Still active on virtue of net. Still being breathing. Gonna see them push that way with superior weaponry for the most part.
Yeah, can just leave that. Cam doesn't even really need to check it right now. Can just wait until the actual retake, try to ping someone out.
Alright, it's go time. Foul is exchanged here. Miriz brought down from that high ground by BCJ, but it's going to be up to Nismo here. Now, I am justified in saying this. Can unclock in. Flash to work with, just one. Oh, this is almost like the previous round, just in reverse.
Except the classic. Not as good. Oh, there we go. Now we got the previous round in reverse. There we go.
Takes a looking. Does Nismo down to 59. Flash! They've both flashed! Suther, though, just goes for the spray. And yeah, it hits its mark. M80 with only 4 rounds here, losing the pistol in the second in a 3v1. Now, looking at this game, start to sail off into the sunset.
Tiny adjustment there at the end, but Miriz, you can see the Sheriff in his hand. Suther just carried that alone over from the previous round after those insane shots. But low on HP at the last moment, while the spike was going down, Miriz exchanging guns with Suther, the higher HP of the two, to win that out with the Phantom, and it really did end up mattering quite a bit. Red in prime position to close this out. Take us to map 3. I mean, if they win out here, they're ready to deal M80 a loss at the scoreline that they just took themselves. It's fast with the judge into B.
Threatening here for BCJ. Nismo here, let's go over that. Some of the utility onto the B site now. RETA has to be careful getting boxed in with so much of this incendiary. Damaging util could be dangerous, but BCJ burns brighter than all of those. Easy 3. Steps up and knocks them down. Make that 4. And that is a nice way to come back into the game, but there's much more to be done still.
Yes, was in there really unable to get the distance intended with the satchels. Didn't make it all the way up to heaven. That would have made a big difference if you had the judge up there fighting BCJ close range. It's always the tiniest things in this game that add up. The smallest thing can have so much impact, such a difference made, that just allows BCJ to swing out there, accurate with the Phantom, all headshots. Bad buy.
Yeah, it's very dodgy. RETA wanted to mix in a B hit there. Rarely advisable on this map, especially up against Breach. Fade. Still, is history now.
Now look at this. They've inserted Snow so deep. They think it's in B. It baits out the Nightfall. You are kidding. He's just sitting up here with a Bucky. The A site is vacant. They're all just going for him, and he goes 1 for 1.
That is pretty egregious. He's got away with just so much. Now they might try and overload stairs here. Nagset does fall. Like a sack of potatoes, he goes down. Delzik just checking Baby Door there, but everybody from M80's grouped up here. Suther very low. M80 might have salvaged this. The classic goes to work, though. Delzik gives them a chance. Now the numbers are even. Nismo backs up, doesn't want any of that smoke. Just as it clears, Net has made his way onto the site, and he's cleared much of this already. Delzik had no option there. He had to move away. Great use of that aftershock, and now Suther 26 HP. It's 20 more than 6. Can he do it again?
Surely not, man. Surely not. Not stunned on the rope. No, he is done for. Thank God Nismo hit that stun.
3 for Nismo on the round as well.
Madness in the round. I mean,
so this is the ultimate sacrifice, just thrown into Krakatoa to summon the primal gods there, sent over towards B to try and raise a ruckus.
That's great. He just gets into heaven. BCJ fully bought in since the nightfall. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, listen.
I mean, your margin of error is pretty slim now, right? This buffer of rounds that RETA have picked up means that you don't really have much breathing room.
No.
Oh man,
listen, RETA, they'll be happy enough with the result of that round. It was silly. That keeps the spirits high, you know. A few kills, some silliness.
That's so stupid. That smoke there thrown down to sort of defeat a potential one-way, but Xander does not opt for it here. Instead, just throws that in C main. 3 players at C here. Gate crash obviously leaving Kuala Lumpur the option for a quick B rotation. That's going to expire soon, and instead they've sent their fade of BCJ back to that site.
It seemed for a second they might have gone for something aggressive into C mount. They opt not for that, M80. The entire time, RETA, their plan basically, insert Mariz on C, wait out the one-way Omen smoke that's on A main, wipe the wall up, walk out here, make your presence known, gain some control of this side of the map. You know, if necessary, they could just pivot back, but it looks like they want to go for the full A exec as Mariz is on that rotate.
Information at M80's fingertips, but this Viper wall makes it very hard to make an informed decision about where to set up. This Nightfall, though, is definitely going to trigger a cataclysmic sequence of events.
30 seconds left.
Here it comes. Make sure there was Snooze in. Cyber Cage deployed here, but he steps into it happily. Okay, that might break them up a little bit there. And here comes a rolling thunder. Nismo wants to capitalize instantly. The ping on Snozine gave him the chance, but a swing from the other side is from Snozine. He's able to turn around and complete that kill. Naxet fighting tooth and claw on the fight, but it's net for 3. Now it's up to Snow and Suther.
Last player standing.
In the pit, no less. Snozine sees that drop down though, losing Suther hurts, but now on the 1 versus 1. 3 kills for the Rays. Xander ready for the TP to safety. He thinks the showstopper's coming for him.
Oh my God, that was so close. I mean, the balls on Stone to use his ult there and go for it with like less than a second left. Oh my God, man. These rounds.
Okay, that showstopper would have come for him, to be fair, but the TP is into a dangerous location. Could have been anywhere. Could have been top A, top site. Maybe he didn't have the time to set it up, but I like the idea to dodge a showstopper that way. Kind of TP'd and served himself up on a silver platter just as Kuala is done. Snozine slides into action with a Ferrari peek and absolutely flattens the Yoru.
Yeah, all right. Snozine was letting his little brother play the first map, I'm going to be honest. this guy
My dad was on my PC.
This guy is so different now. Mariz has picked up the op here. It's just locking down Baby Door. Nismo alone finds a great timing, but can't capitalize off his own stun.
Not even slightly. Mariz just posts back up on the angle. That door closes. A metaphor for a huge opportunity for M80 to at least even up the numbers. Okay, well, BCJ sometimes. Rabbit out of the hat. Type beat. Snozine though steps in though through Baby Door. No presence on B. No one at upper here. RETA have the chance to fully set up here, and they even check that link.
Where is everyone hiding?
Left here, and that's not going to be ready for that ping. Delzik leaps out and gets involved.
This was a bad buy for RETA as well. They picked them apart one by one. Xander was just a free kill in the center of sight, caught in, I don't know if that was some kind of transitional moment where he was trying to adjust his position, or if he thought someone was picking up an angle for him. He was exposed to Baby Door and main. So just goes down for free. And because of all the damage done in the previous rounds, despite it being 2 in a row for M80, these guys are forced to save. The economy is dire. Kuala Lumpur doesn't have $1 to his name.
M80 thought they might be able to string together that crazy situation between Xander and Snowzine, obviously causing Xander to win on time there, avoiding the showstopper. And then we're looking to convert it into something more, but that round went pretty horribly for them. My goodness.
I mean, what an opening that was as well. Just wide swing, Koala out in the open. I thought there was going to be a bit more of a utility presence from M80 towards A main. With the breach there, potential for a flash from Koala Noob as well, but it just didn't come. And M80, they're on the tack pause now. They are feeling the pressure as RETA inch so close to stealing away their map pick. Taking this to Icebox, the third map after, I mean, really against all odds. I think every single person watching thought RETA were doomed in this series after map 1. But my God, man, they have arisen from the grave. Snowzine specifically.
Yeah, he's looked incredible. And those early picks that Net was able to manufacture on the defense, just swinging out towards A long, we've now started to see a little bit more from RETA. To the detriment, as it turns out, of Koala Noob, who wants to be first into those fights. We haven't really seen the Yoru bring, I guess, that utility, or at least, you know, the idea sort of behind that. We haven't quite seen that play out. But M80 at least managed to string those 3 rounds together. I'm telling you, that round 17, that bizarre end to the round, so huge for M80 to win there. Despite the utter chaos that gave us all whiplash. They're still in it. Yeah. Still able to buy up. Mostly, anyway.
Now with the operator, once a jet player way back in the day for Crew, picking up that angle as the team inch forward. But look at this trap play set up for M80. They could absolutely ruin RETA's plan here.
Timing's good. Fault line better as well. Koala Noob for 2. Great opener. Nagzet clearly had enough distance away from that, though, to get involved. And so it ends up blowing up in M80's face. Numbers here still favor RETA, but the rotators are coming in for M80. Looks like it's a double stack through halls to try and fight this one. They're only going to Judge and the Bulldog to work with, though. That's the ugly part.
Zine already circling the pillars, entering close with the Judge. What the hell? Gets 2! Should not be allowed to do that.
It's a rifle too. Oh my God, Xander, this game is just cracked from you.
This game has descended into madness, Mitch. What is happening? How has he gotten so close onto the site? With Snowzine wrapping around the pillar.
It's like 2 massive clutches in 3 rounds that have kept M80 in this. That is so unreasonable. That is so absurd. Double kill the Judge, upgrade to a weapon, go low after this catastrophic early engagement.
Look at this situation as well. Nags fully blind, just intuition timing. Koala Noob loses the duel to the stunned player, can't adjust in time. So they go down into a 2v3. Even though the trap play, a great round to call it, perfectly set up.
They're still alive in this, man. They are still alive in it.
Losing it.
Xander has grabbed them by the hair. Now in Koala Noob's hands. Okay, another BCJ smoke kill.
Just spamming them down. BCJ way of life. Oh my God, Koala Noob barely getting out of there. And Koala Noob does love to op on the Yoru, no matter what the map, evidently. Lotus 2. Just taking those forward positions, gate crashing away, so he caught by the trip, just walks straight into it.
M80 starting to build up that head of steam now. This is the last buy. We're ready to have a buy up here after this, but they are starting to run a little bit low, that econ. Koala Noob able to avoid that fault line, deal with Maurice as he emerges, flash himself into the fight. Decoy thrown out, all full clean. Flawless, in fact, for M80. Fighting back into this game now. That was a beautiful opener. Starts off with an M80 kill through a Viper wall. Then Net, I think, finding something through a cyber cage. Beautifully held on the extremities.
Look at this from Koala. It is just silliness. The game has devolved. The economy now in a pretty dire situation when we get into this next round for RETA. It has been cracked.
Yeah, it's looking pretty ugly. I think RETA in that round. 1,300, I think, across all of them. Marie's at 1,150. Suther definitely won't be able to buy up at all. Tech pause called up here. I've only had a few of them today, so nothing to stress about too much. Man, I'm still going back to that That 1v1 between Xander and Snowzine.
So many 1v1s, so many ridiculous situations.
I mean, at first I'm looking at that. At first I thought, you know, M80 had lost the round just because obviously because that kill, but he was playing for time the entire time. I actually 2 steps ahead.
I mean, also just
so
being in this situation because of the share of headshots from Suther on the pistol as well.
Oh yeah, 6 HP.
It's just, this is a crazy game, but I expect nothing less when you throw a Yoru into the mix on the Lotus and no one knows what's happening. M80 have a game plan, but they've never ran it in a match. They've ran it in scrims, and I'm sure they've befuddled many a scrim partner when playing Lotus with this, but they have not match tested it yet, and that is a really big difference.
Starting to get running now, though, that's for sure. Should expect, like I said, RETA to try and even the ledger a little bit, and some of those key ultimates are going to start to come back around here. Yeah, we're feeling upbeat. Remember, this is only the second map of the series. First one went by in a flash, and we started watching M80 struggle to find those attacking rounds. Despite the novelty of the Yoru that kind of fell off pretty quickly. Snowzine started to fire. He's not been really given an opportunity to be involved in many of these fights in the last couple of rounds, though. M80 pounding that C site. Just the unreasonable clutch with the Bulldog and the Judge against 3 rifles. Trying to get the post plant down. Xander able to win that with a TP forward double Judge kill. And then finishes off Snowzine, who has 50 health more than him. 1 bullet being the difference maker. This team is showing it's not, they're not just stable, they're not just consistent, they don't just play tight, they don't just cover each other that well. They have some absolutely cracked players on their team.
Yeah,
your BCJs, Koala Noobs, your Xanders. You've got it all, man.
I mean, there has been, is, will be
it's
much
dark
talk.
BCJ, he's emerged. The evil alter ego, Wyatt. This is where he comes out here, he grabs an Odin and he just crouch spams on his fallen opponents. I'm shaking.
Listen, there's a lot of smiles. We have fun here.
Way too long, so obviously...
We have a nice time.
Yeah, a tech pause here. Way too long for a tech pause. The thing about these is that they're not bounded by time like a tactical pause is. So it is until we solve the issue. Shouldn't be too much longer, though, folks, we've been told. Well, I was told 2 minutes ago, ETA 1 minute. So, yeah, it'll be soon.
All
there
right,
we go.
Close enough.
We're into the game.
Close enough. All right. So what is happening here? Yeah, the economy off that last round, pretty bad for RETA. That being said, though, close to some more big ults. Snowzine, no matter what happens this round, gets a kill, dies, gets an orb, whatever. He's going to have Showstopper. The next buy, Koala Noob immediately taking advantage. That off to get the first.
Love that the Prowler coming out instantly just to deny any potential follow-up. Koala Noob still gate crashes now back over towards that stairs side, but he's going to be too late to catch the long angle of the players running up that A grassy area. And it is an awkward buy here for RETA, so just the jumble of individual bank balances is forcing them to saving for the next. Got an absolute in here. Going to be a fault line across that A site. No one on the ramp here for M80. They're pretty content to play from stairs and from upper. That Lear, beautiful. Snowzine didn't know what hit him, nor did Nuriz. That one came down to left field as Net silences him. Delzy wants to move up here and catches Nismo in mid-air. Suther deals with Xander in much the same way. Flash out. Suther under pressure now. Koala Noob wants to challenge this, and Delzy's moving up on the site. And that deals with him comfortably. M80 get within 1 round here of RETA.
Well covered there, protecting BCJ on the defuse. This is the full buy for RETA coming in now, though. M80 just enacting that standard full retake, something they will have certainly practiced many times over. Plan out those protocols, but as we head into this, I'm looking at the state of the ultimates. Because that Showstopper is available for Snowzine. Nags lockdown as well. That's an ult to get in the site, and an ult to win the post plant.
Cleanly done now, though. Full arsenal. Actually, Nags who's picked up the open this time around. Fast play for RETA getting out to rubble. That's been paranoia, though. Door opened, and M80 threatened it, but the counter paranoia from Delzik going to stuff them back onto the A site.
Actually, after that round 2, Mariz was a couple orbs away, but was able to get enough. Look at the state of the ultimates. You won't get a better chance than this for RETA to close the game out. Get to 12 right now.
Alt line's a good catch, though. Allows them to gobble up Mariz. And that is the Nightfall off the table in this very alt-rich round for RETA. Showstopper for Snowzine. In he comes. Nobody waiting inside tree for him there. Prowler catches on, but he just skims BCJ with some of that AoE. And he's going to take him down. Max set is quite low, but he's got to be able to set up this lockdown. No Odin here available for M80. They can't just spam that location. And yet Nismo waits for a moment, gives it a beat, and has to get out.
Just forced to retreat, but Xander within the lockdown at least does get his. Taking a bold risk, but one that often pays off because you just don't expect someone to stay.
He's happy to get the one there. Would have been detained had he survived, so not an issue. Snow deals with Nismo on that high grab. Aquan, Nubinet. These two have been electric in the last couple of rounds. Flash catches Suther perfectly, but he was holding the line and found the timing. Looking to make another clutch happen, but it's net we're talking about. It doesn't matter.
How does he do it again?
Suther shuts him down and puts RETA on map point.
How does he do it again? 2 unbelievable clutches from Suther on the most important round of the game for RETA. All of those ultimates expended, and it looked like it would all be for naught. With these kills coming in on site, Snowzy not able to convert a second. The flash was perfect. Suther even adjusted slightly wall blind to get that headshot. I mean, you are joking.
They might get RETA out of this map before M80 threatened to claw them into extra time.
I mean, that just feels like the invisible string just guiding his mouse slightly to the left. It is destiny for him to win another clutch and bring this to map 3. I just can't believe that, man. Marizia, that Nightfall, going down in the previous round, retained it. Still has it here, as does BCJ, though.
It's like an enforced savings plan, like taxes. Love that. Look at all of M80 have gotten off of that A side. Are they just convinced there's nothing afoot here? Triple stacked up for a potential B push, so something has tingled their spider senses. And Dimensional Drift here is going to show them that they would be better off positioning over towards that A side.
Yeah, this is a good time ultimate from Koala Noob, and there's that Nightfall. Doesn't catch anybody, but will pressure Xander back just a bit. They will get this site for free, and again, we're going to a big M80 set retake. Something they'll be ready, prepped for.
Surely not from Dropkins. Xander just flattened them here. Paranoia came out. Dark cover going to be thrown down to cover up Creek. Going to be Snowzine a little bit low at the bottom of drop here, and Xander gets out. He gets out despite the spam coming through, eventually stopped. Naxat had the perfect weapon for it too. And there it is, a clean finish on the map for RETA. And it could have gotten ugly, but they come alive. They shut down M80. And Suther, for me, an absolute standout on this map with some unreal clutches to stop that burgeoning momentum of M80.
I am still just stunned. Both of those clutches were unreal. The Sheriff one was otherworldly. So much credit to Snowzine as well. A young player who has never been on a stage like this. I mean, absolutely planks map 1. Just fell flat on all accounts. And then drops, what, damn near 30, if not on this map? That is unbelievable. Nags KJ, very impactful on that first half too. Really impressed with the bounce back from RETA. I don't think anybody saw that coming after the travesty on map 1. They have just completely, utterly dealt with this newly revealed comp from M80 on their own map pick.
Some frankly unreasonable clutches on both sides, to be fair. We've seen the best foot forward from both these teams, and it is RETA that forces us to a third map. So stick around for that. We're going to chat map 3. We're going to talk about the map that we just saw, and we'll be jumping into it right after.